Hey everybody, Garrett Burrow here with Annuity Producers. Okay, so you filled out an annuity application with your client already. They understand all the features and benefits of the particular plan that you're suggesting for them. They're happy, they love it. We've gone through all the disclosures. Application is submitted, it's gone through suitability review, and you've got the green light to go ahead, right? The annuity carrier has given you suitability approval. So the next step, of course, is going to be funding. You got to get the money over there to fund the annuity. And so that's going to come in one of three forms. It's either going to be a transfer, a rollover, or a 1035 exchange. So this video here is just going to go over those three high level. And we'll have some other videos that'll go a little bit more in depth into each one of those. And folks, if there's anything that you want to see or you want any content on, please don't hesitate to ask us. Drop it in the comments, drop it in the chat. Let us know what you want to see. We have all the content that we could possibly deliver. We just need to know what y'all want to see. Okay, back to the matter at hand. We have an approved application, suitability is cleared, ready to go, need to move the funds. It's either going to be a transfer, a rollover, or a 1035 exchange. What does that mean? Well, the first thing that we need to know is what is the tax code? Where are the funds coming from? And this is something that you should already have had in advance because the application will require it. So, are the funds coming from a qualified retirement account? Or are they coming from a check that's coming from the bank, just a non-qualified, check, right? This is important to know. And are we changing the tax code, right? So if our ultimate goal is to establish an IRA utilizing a client's existing IRA, whether it's another annuity and we're replacing it, or whether it's coming from a brokerage account, it's just a brokerage IRA, that is a transfer. A transfer is like to like, with no change to the tax code, IRA to IRA, Roth to Roth, etc. But a lot of clients have old 401ks, and those are great. It's still a qualified retirement account, but we're going to change the tax code. So it'll be a 401k to IRA rollover. So a rollover is when we're not doing like to like, we're going to actually make a switch. It's still a qualified retirement account, still doesn't create a taxable event for moving the funds for your client, but it's not going to say 401k anymore when we're all said and done. It's going to say IRA. So therefore, it is a rollover. You're rolling it over into something else. You're not just transferring it across, you're rolling it over into a new tax code, in this case, an IRA. Or it could be like a Roth 401k to a Roth IRA, for example. That's another good example of a rollover. And the last type of transfer is a special kind, and that's called a 1035 exchange. It has special IRS tax privileges, and it applies only to non-qualified annuities. So it's a very specialized type of transfer. 1035 exchange, it's called. And what that does is, let's say your client has an annuity. They originally purchased that annuity with $50,000. It's now grown to $100,000. So if we just did a simple transfer, non-qualified annuity to non-qualified annuity, that client would have to pay taxes on all the gains on the basis, right? So all the way up to $100,000, $50,000 put in, $50,000 in growth, they would get a 1099 for that $50,000, but not if we utilize the 1035 exchange. And this is why it's so important, because now if we do the 1035 exchange, it's like to like, but it's a specialized like to like. It's a non-qualified annuity going into another non-qualified annuity. And therefore, there will be no taxation on any of the growth within the annuity. In our example, if the client originally funded the annuity with $50,000 and now it's grown to $100,000, their basis is still going to be $50,000 and they won't be responsible for any taxation for moving the funds. Now, when they go to withdraw those funds, of course, yes, Uncle Sam, your business partner, is always going to get his share. Can't get around that. If we had a way to avoid taxes, we'd have a line out the door every single day. But what it's going to do is it's going to make it so that when your clients want to move into a product that's more competitive, that meets their goals much better than what their current product can offer, now they're not also going to be on the hook for a large tax hit. They still get the same tax deferral benefits that so many of our clients love with respect to annuities. So to recap, you have an approved annuity application, suitability is cleared, and you need to move the funds. You either have a transfer, like to like, IRA to IRA, Roth to Roth. You have a rollover, changing the tax code, 401k to IRA. Or a special type is a 1035 exchange, which is a non-qualified annuity to a non-qualified annuity, and it gives special tax treatment to that. That's very beneficial to the client. The last thing I'd like to mention is that there is one case in which it might not make sense to do a 1035 exchange. So let's go back to our previous example. There's a client who funded an annuity with $50,000 and it's now grown to $100,000. If the client wants their new basis to be $100,000 and they're comfortable paying taxes on the $50,000 in growth now, then we can simply do a non-qualified transfer. The reason why a client might want to do that is, let's say they're 62 years old and they're worried about IRMA going forward. Well, maybe they want to step up their basis now, pay the taxes on it now, and then they'd only be responsible for any taxation on anything over and above what their basis is. So their new basis is $100,000. They're basically starting over from scratch, paying the taxes now, getting them out of the way, and starting again from scratch. So that's one example of when you might not want to do a 1035 exchange. But I would say probably 95+% of the time, if you have a non-qualified annuity, you're doing a 1035 exchange. Hope that's helpful. Leave us any comments, questions, anything like that in the chat. Send us a message directly. We'd love to get out to you the information that y'all are looking for. So thank you very much for watching. Garrett Burrow, AnnuityProducers.com. Take care. Bye-bye.